turning $1,000 into $10,000 is possible. Now, no, it's not easy. I'm not here to feed you lies. I'm an honest guy, and y'all know I'm truthful. But one of the best ways to do this is in the futures market. You can do it quickly and efficiently as long as you have discipline and you have the right work ethic and you understand the process. And we're going to jump through this in a second and get on the charts live. And I'm going to show you and walk you through how we can go through this and the process it takes to grow your capital from $1,000 to $10,000. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Strong. I make videos about trading the futures market, investing in the stock market, and personal finances. We trade to grow our capital. We invest to build wealth and have asset appreciation. And none of that's possible without having good personal finances. So never forget, we don't trade or invest. We trade and invest. So let's go ahead and jump on these charts, man. Don't mind this. This is a setup I was looking at for myself. I will find a fresh one for you guys. But so why, first and foremost, why does the futures market work, right? Why does it work for small accounts? Well, we have what we call leverage. So when it comes to, you don't need, like, for example, right, with certain stocks, if we're looking at the old school way of buying stocks, if there's a stock price at $300, you would need $300 to buy one share of that stock. We're talking about if you're not trading, right? We're talking about traditional, like just investing. And then to double your money, that stock has to literally go from $300 to $600. Most people don't understand that that takes a long time if it ever happens. But when we're trading the futures market, we can capitalize on these small price pullbacks, these imbalances, and these small price fluctuations in the market. And of course, if you're interested in learning more, always go to my description. I have resources down below, as well as trainings coming out to help you guys, and a lot of resources to help you elevate your trading, specifically in the futures market and investing, right? So make sure you go down to my description to learn more about that. Trading futures provides us great leverage. Now, be cautious because you can over leverage. You can over leverage, which means you can risk too much and you can lose money. So I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to tell you what's true, what's straight up, what's honest. And it's just like a knife. You know, a knife can be sharp and it can hurt you, but it also can prepare your food. You know what I'm saying? It also can cut your food up into little sizes to make it easier for you. So it's just a tool that we need to learn how to use responsibly and carefully. Okay. So let's jump on this, man, and let's go look at some price fluctuations for like tick values and some contracts, and basically, simply put, how does this work, right? We need to understand the basics really quick. So we have our main standard index on the screen, right? We have S&P 500, we have NASDAQ, and we have Dow Jones. For some of y'all from like the Forex or CFD space, you may know it as US 30, but in real time, that is Dow Jones. And we have Russell 2000, which I like, man. I'm actually starting to like Russell 2000. But all these are great indexes. So if you look at Dow Jones, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see for every tick value that it goes up or down, per contract we have on is going to fluctuate. So our price is going to move by 50 cents. That's if we're on the micros. If we're on the standard, it's going to move by $5. So the micro and the standard is always just a multiplication of $10. We need to get these basics down, all right? Let's get these basics so we can go into it. We can continue to build on this. So pretty much when we buy one contract, for every contract, every ticket moves on the micro. We're going to focus on micros on this. And that's the next tip I want to give you guys as well. Since we're starting with $1,000, the price fluctuation on the standards, a lot of times we won't have the leverage to really get in, and one bad trade could wipe out our whole account. So we want to focus solely on the micros, all right? So for all these examples, we're going to focus on the left column. Let's focus on the left column, which is the micro. So in this example for Dow Jones, we're looking at the MYM. That's the ticker symbol, which is the micro Dow Jones, all right? For every tick, it's going to move 50 cents. So if we put one contract, it moves 50 cents. If we put 4 contracts, it's going to move $2 for every tick. That's important to know, all right? And then we'll go through a few elements too. So for NQ and MNQ, right? Our ticker symbol, aka our contract code. So when we're in futures, it's called a contract code. If you're looking at stocks and things like that, they're called ticker symbols. It's the same thing, all right? For every tick, same thing, 50 cents. For S&P 500, I believe it's 50 cents. Well, no, it's dollar. Okay, that's right. $1.25. So for S&P 500, it's $1.25. So they're not all the same, right? So we have NASDAQ and Dow Jones. Every tick they move 50 cents. For S&P 500, it moved $1.25. So understand that. Whereas the other ones you put 4 contracts on, you're risking $2 a tick movement. On this one, if you put 4 contracts, you're going to move $5. This one doesn't move as fast, but it's still important to understand. So that way you don't go into it with these standard contract sizes on every asset, because every asset is different. They are all unique. And then also, do not worry about who the broker is. I am not telling you who to use. You use who you comfortable with. Do your own due diligence. If you want to know who I use, all that's in my description. I keep it in my description in a spreadsheet that I can update in real time, because I'm telling you right now, I have 2 personal brokers. If I stop using one, I'm snatching them off my list, and you're going to see it. If it's not on James' list, James ain't using it. So I don't ever want to give these I'm not here to promote companies. I'm here to help you guys out. I'm here to continue to grow myself as a trader, as an investor, as a businessman, and I want to help my people grow as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to promote companies and help them out. I'm here to help us out. So if you want to use Tradeovate, hey, again, go ahead. If you want to know how I use, go down in my description. You'll see all the things I use. All right. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to use just, what their margin requirements are. So we can see that. Let me go up so you can see it. Not only do we want to focus on micro contracts, we want to focus on day margin. So day margin pretty much means we're going to get in and get out. When we have $1,000, we cannot afford to be trying to swing trade or position trade and hold for a long term. We need to get in. We need to secure our money. We need to get out. This is how we're going to start to flip and snowball and compound our money. All right. So that's what day margin is. Day margin pretty much means you get in and you get out before the close of the futures day, right? Which pretty much it's technically 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, my time. So Eastern Standard is 5. But most brokers want you out anywhere between 3:15 and 3:45 Central Standard Time. Or, translate that to Eastern Standard Time for yourself, right? So basically, within that last hour, you should be getting out before the market closes. So if you get a cheap price, I ain't say cheap, a lot more affordable price. So you can see here, right? Trading a Russell 2000 micro, S&P 500, and NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones. We only need $50 per contract. No, 100 for NASDAQ, but on average, we need about $50 to $100 to place a contract. Versus if we tried to hold it for that 1 hour overnight, we need $836 in our account, 1606, 2024, and so on. And this is the thing, too, I want you to be careful about. And this is why I say we're only going to focus on micros. If you have, for example, let's say you're in NASDAQ and you have 2 contracts open. It only costs you $200 initially. If you didn't close that at 5 p.m., and let's say you only had $1,500 in your account, you're going to get a margin call because you don't have 2 times this. And sometimes they actually want you to have a buffer, too, on top of the value for the initial margin. The initial margin. So if you basically didn't have about $5,000 in your account, they're going to margin call you, whether you're in profit or not in profit. So we're not going to focus on that, right? We're here to grow our money from 1,000 to 10,000 legitly. So we're only going to focus on this day margin. So now that we know we can afford to have, a couple contracts, it's not going to blow our account because we have $1,000. Now we need to go on the charts. Let's find setup. We're going to walk through it. All right. And this is when the power of compounding kicks in. So let's find us a fresh one. I don't want to use the one I was looking at for myself. Find something simple and easy for y'all. Simple and easy, man. And I'm going to use a good example. And we're going to go through. Let me find something clean. Clean. I don't want anything complex. This is a straight one right here. So this is a very textbook trade. Let me take this magnet off. This is a very textbook trade, all right? Fill this in. Boom. Take this off. Let's make this black. All right. So we have a demand area. We broke structure to the upside. So we broke structure. And we have, where's my little marker? Where's that little thing at? Here you go. My little highlighter joint. And we have like imbalances that need to be filled. So this is a very, very, very simple textbook trade that we can use for our example. Steady, consistent wins are going to make us money every time. So like I said, we know we cannot hold trades overnight, and we don't need to. We need a bunch of base hits. Base hits get the score. All right. 2-pointers and 3-pointers. We cannot make a 10-point shot. We don't want to shoot for the moon, man. Hey, free throws and layups. Free throws and layups. Base hits. That's what we want. We want to get that to make our money. All right. So for this one, although we can see what happened after the fact, in real time, you don't know what's going to happen. And it's easy to say what you woulda, shoulda, coulda, or to think you lost out on money after the fact. But during it, we need to have set rules in place to make our money. But once we have our setup, right? Of course, you need to know a strategy. You need to know how to actually trade, right? But once you have a basic, simple strategy, you don't need anything complex. That's why I skipped a lot of these before this. We need basic for base hits, for layups, and for free throws. All right. I'm talking simple as simple can be. Let's have a positive risk to reward. So we want it 1-to-1 is cool, but it had to be very, very high win rate. So we want at least 1.5 to 2. I prefer 3 to 5, but that is not really basic. Let's shoot for 2 to 3, right? So let's just say we're going to do 3 for the sake of it. It broke structure, had imbalances, and left a demand zone. So we're going to place an entry. Leave a little breathing room, right, when it hits the zone. And we're going to set it for a 3 to 1. We choose 3 to 1. We're going to assume that we're risking, let's say, $1,000. Now we want to assume a fixed risk reward. Some people would tell you a fixed percentage. No. Risk a fixed dollar amount. It's okay to use a percentage at the beginning, but basically, like let's say you want to do 5%. Okay, that's $50 on $1,000 account. But don't risk 5% each time. Why? Because as you start to win, it's going to eat into your profit when you lose. It's kind of counterintuitive. So we want a flat risk so we know we're risking, right? So it's not going to be perfect. We do have ticks and stuff like that. So sometimes it may be 50, sometimes maybe 60, sometimes maybe 40. But find a range that you're comfortable with that's very tight. And let's risk that every time. So let's just say for the sake of this, we're risking, I don't know. You want to go to 1,000 pounds, but you got to be a little bit aggressive. Not risky, but you can't be scared. So we're going to say we're going to do $50. That's very still conservative, but we will go to 100 shortly after that, right? So let's say we want to do 50 until we get about $200 in profit, or we win one trade. But I would say, I'll say 2 trades. So we're going to say we're using a 3 to 1 risk to reward. Now, to grow from 1,000 to 10,000, the cadence and the pace is on you. You can go very slow. We can start off risking, let's say you want to be conservative, risking $50 a trade. I wouldn't suggest you go too risky. It truly depends on your risk to reward. But 50 is cool. So let's say we want to do $50. So let's do $50 a trade. And then at least until we get a little bit of buffer, let's say we get up 6R in profit. So basically $300. Then we can go to 100. We need a little bit of breathing room to start playing with it. So this is one win. We risked $50. We made 150 because it hit our TP. Okay. These are what I mean when I say small base hits. All you need are consistent layups. We're going to lose and we're going to win. But it's not about winning all the time, contrary to what a lot of people try to do when it comes to trading. They understand that, hey, you can't win every time, but yet they still try to. That's not realistic. So what is realistic? What's realistic is getting in the market, getting your profit, and getting out. All right. So if we have a simple win rate of 50%, now I'm not going to type all this down, but I'll type it for you for the sake of it. All right, let's say a 50% win rate. And I know you're like, James, 50%. I mean, we were taught in school, that we need a 93 to get an A. Well, let me tell you this ain't school, and that's what they want you to think. So a 50% win rate. Half the time you win, half the time you lose. And then if you're aiming for a 3R, when you win, you make $150. We'll just use it the whole time. We'll use the $50 for this example. And when you lose $50. If you split this out and you start doing this math, so what does this mean? This means every time you make a trade, right? So 2 trades on average, you're up $100. It doesn't take much to start to compound your account. Now, the thing you want to do too is once you get a little buffer, like I said earlier, right? Once we get about $300 buffer, we need to go up to $100. We need to start pressing this because this is why you need to be confident in your strategy. Have a tried and true strategy that you tested and you have the data with, and you know the plan, you know how to stick to all these good things. So that's a prerequisite, of course. But once you have that, we just need to rinse and repeat and just stay poised and stay calm in the market. We're not looking to hit home runs. We don't need to catch a 5, 6, 7 to 1 all the time. You need simple base hits. You can go 2-2 every week and make money. Again, how fast you make money depends on your risk tolerance and your strategy, how much you're trading. If you're trading on the lower time frame, like the 5-minute, you may have a lot more entries. If you're trading more intraday, you may have a few, depending on how big your playbook is, you may have more. All these factors come into it, but the point is, all of these are positive 100. And then when we go up to the $300, we're now making $2 positive, right? Every time we make 300 and we lose 100 on the losses, because we're still at a 50% win rate, we go up. Once you get to a certain buffer, and this is the final piece that you need to make your $10,000. Once you get to a certain amount, you have to up the risk. So when you get to 2,000, you don't want to keep risking $50 unless you want it to take forever. Maybe now you go to 100, 150, 125, right? Somewhere in that range. And you just do the same thing over and over and over. You get it to $3,500. Now you go up to, $150, $200. Risking again. If you win, if you had $200 to trade, when you win one of these setups, you make $600. When you lose $200. So even if you're at 50%, if you're taking 4 trades on average, you're profiting at least $400 every week. This is not much in the short term, but in the long term, it's a lot of money. It's $400 extra a week. You didn't have to quit your job. You have to do anything. This is extra money, all right? Leading up to what we want to do with it. Now you might have 5,000 in your account. Maybe you're risking $350. I never really advise risking a lot of it unless this is like a flip account for yourself. But if we're looking to turn this 1,000 to 10,000 safely, let's be responsible. So on and so forth, and rinse and repeat the process. And that is a simple way you get from $1,000 to $10,000. Is it easy? No, but is it simple? Very simple. So it's not hard at all. All right. If you got value from this video and you like making money, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you don't like making money, don't subscribe. As always, man, all my resources again are down below. If you want more information, if you want assistance, you want help with it, go down in my description. Join my VIP list. That's where all my VIP investors are. Or if you want to just know my resources and what I use, that's in my description as well. With that being said, man, take this, run your money up, run the play. I look forward to seeing y'all next video, man. Much love.